So in this video, we will write an abstract class and we will try to run it. So let's create an abstract class. So let's name it interest calculator. This is the normal class, but in order to create an abstract class, we have to we have to write the abstract keyword in the class declaration. So we do that. This is now an abstract class. Now we don't see any error because an abstract class can have abstract and non-abstract methods or no methods at all. So it is perfectly fine. Now let's create a subclass of the interest calculator and let's name it monthly interest calculator, and this class would inherit from the interest calculator. And let's have a main method. Okay, let me clean it so that we can use it to run the code. All right, so here we have the interest calculator and then we have the monthly calculator. Hmm. Now, so interest calculator is an abstract class and it doesn't have any methods. The child class is extending from the interest calculator, but because the parent does not have anything, so there is no problem at all. And there is nothing to run actually. So let's try to add an abstract method in the parent. To do that, we follow the same pattern. We give the access modifier, then the abstract keyword to declare that a method is an abstract method, then the return type, then the method name. And then instead of curly braces, we put the semicolon. So this is an abstract method now. Now in this case, because we have defined an abstract method in the abstract class, now all the subclasses will have to provide the implementation of the abstract method. So if we go back to the child now, we see there is some problem. We see that this must either be declared abstract or implement the abstract method. So the thing is, if a child is inheriting from the parent, which is an abstract class, then there are two things. The number one thing is that either it should implement all the abstract methods. It must give the implementation of all the abstract methods. Or number two is declare the child abstract as well so that it doesn't have to give the implementation because an abstract class can have abstract methods. So if we don't want to provide the implementation of all the abstract methods, then we can declare that the child class is also an abstract class. This is all fine. Now this child is inheriting all the abstract methods from the parent, and because the child itself is abstract, so there is no need to provide the implementation because abstract classes can have abstract methods. But if the subclass is not abstract, then we must give the implementation of the abstract method, which is basically public void calculate, and we can simply put something like this: calculate from child. We saw how to add an abstract method in the abstract class, and if we have a child inheriting from the abstract class, then we have to provide the implementation of that abstract method. And if we want to skip this particular bit, then we can declare the child abstract as well. All right. So second thing, we said that the abstract class can have abstract and non-abstract method. So let's add a non-abstract method here. Public void, that's a log. I am an abstract class. So an abstract class can have an abstract method and non-abstract method, basically methods with body. And if we go back to the child, then the child must give the implementation of the abstract method, but it can, because the method has the body, so it will anyway override, it will anyway inherit the method log from the parent. And in this case, it has a choice to either override or use the default implementation. So if child is not overriding the log method from the interest calculator, then it will simply get the default implementation which says that I am an abstract class. But same as inheritance, if it overrides the log method, then it can give its own implementation. So let's try to create an object of the child which is inheriting from the abstract class. Nothing changes. We do the same thing. Interest calculator, obj, for example, new monthly interest calculator. And if we call obj dot calculate and obj dot log, and if we run the program, it is taking some time. Hmm, pretty slow. So we see calculate from child because we have some implementation in the child, but for the log method we see that it is coming from the parent. So I am an abstract class. So basically there is no difference when we create the object. The only difference is how we override the methods. An abstract class basically forces all the subclasses to provide the implementation of abstract methods, and it is useful. Actually, abstract classes are useful when we are certain that a parent would have some behavior, some methods, but we don't know the default implementation, because it doesn't make any sense in that case to give the default implementation. In that case, a, we want the inheritance hierarchy so that all the subclasses must have certain behavior, and b, we have to force that the subclasses must give their own implementation. In that case, we can use abstract classes and it can greatly simplify the design. So that's it on the abstract classes, and we will see something else in the next lecture. Thank you.